the head of Cerberus, my old arch-nemesis. I thought you couldn't come after me anymore.
Oh, I technically can't, but my sister can.
Sister? Cerberus is female?
Why do people always think I'm a guy?
Aha! I am here to be your torturer now and the game over.
The game over? Is that what we're calling it?
Well, gamers drag themselves up hell all the time. The game overs are always bad.
Enough! I have a game for you to play, Sauron. It is a favorite, a Mario game. I just have to find it. Is it over here? How about here? Oh no, I can't find it.
Yeah, I get it. Mario is missing.
Well, if you insist, good luck. Oh, damn it.
Alright. I suppose I walked into that one. But yeah, Mario is missing is the title of the game in which you play as Luigi.
What are you doing?
I'm reviewing the game.
How evil! Spreading the terror of this horde game. I love it.
Yeah, anyway, you play as Luigi. The only other time he headlined a game as the main character was a small Game & Watch type game. Still, this was originally a computer game, not a Super Nintendo game, but eventually it did get reworked into the NES and SNES. I'll mostly be focused on the SNES version as the one most people know, and the one that I sadly played as a rental. What a shit weekend. I couldn't even figure out how to play the game, and this rental didn't come with a manual, so I was kind of just stuck slaughtering Koopas for no reason. Hell, part of me thought this was an honest fever dream. At least until I saw another YouTuber talking about this damn game. Seriously though, now that I know how to play the game, I'm better about actually reading things. I guess I'm ready to finally beat this game. Not to say this is a tough game, just annoying. It's been a long while, but like I said, this is the Super Nintendo version that I know. So let's focus on that. Let's do it. Let's take on Luigi! You know what, that title's fine. People can think I'm beating the crap out of Luigi. He probably deserves it after this game. He's actually a bit of an asshole here. Mario suddenly falls through a hole in the ground and Luigi sarcastically retorts about how Mario is kinda late to the party. Suddenly, Mario falls into another hole and into the castle, and Luigi mentions finding Mario like he does this every damn day and is getting annoying. So, what are the brothers doing? Well, besides Mario teleporting, Luigi and Yoshi were waiting Mario to show up to stop Bowser in our world. Yeah, somehow Bowser's in our world and he's buying every hairdryer in the world to melt Antarctica in an effort to team up with the true enemy, global warming. Jeez. Seriously though, Bowser's just doing this for no particular reason. What's worse is how he's getting the money for this. He isn't technically stealing the money or the hairdryers. No. He's stealing pieces of landmarks to ransom them off and get money that way. I guess it's just another way for him to be an added asshat about this whole thing. What's really stupid is that Luigi gets the artifacts back and actually gets a reward for giving them back perfectly fine. So, Bowser, what the hell was the holdup? Was Bowser looking for more money? Seriously, his Koopas could have just been bringing that stuff back already, authenticating it, and getting money for all this. After Luigi collects a small fortune, oddly all in American dollars, despite returning things in places like Japan and Russia, Luigi finds Mario after flipping a switch. Bowser shows up briefly, but Luigi flips the switch again, and Bowser suddenly shot out of a cannon into the nearby ice. Oops. Guess Bowser isn't getting that beachfront property anytime soon. Why is the switch so powerful? How did Luigi know to pull the thing again to defeat Bowser? Why did Bowser knowingly land on the entrance to his own damn cannon? No one cares. This story makes some of the DIC cartoons look like masterpieces in writing. This story is all over the place and just reeks of trying to be kid-friendly but not actually understanding what works in a Mario storyline. As little as there is in many Mario storylines. But at least the game looks good though, right? Luigi, Mario, and Yoshi are ripped right out of Super Mario World, along with the Koopas and the Pokies. The Koopas that have artifacts die with some interesting animations. Bowser looks okay, I suppose, and all the cities have unique backdrops. Maps look decent too. The shops that Luigi passes look different city to city, but when you're in the same city for a while, which will happen, you find something out. These shops repeat more than the background of a Flintstones cartoon. Oops. Yeah, don't get me wrong, they made different shops and houses for each city, but they didn't make a very large amount of them. The only thing that looks slightly different in each city would be the information kiosks you pass by, but they look the same in each city, with an NES sprite of Princess Daisy of all things. I guess at the time she wasn't being used a whole lot, so she really needed the money. Weird to see an NES sprite here. Also, not to point home, but the borrowed Koopa sprites are all just the red Koopa. This means the enemies look all the damn same. They're boring. There are boss fights of sorts with 3 of the Koopalings, but other than their head, they all look the same too. How lazy. Then there's the music. Most of the tracks is the same tune borrowed from Super Mario World, but slightly remixed to sound more like the country of origin. I think there's only one track that differs in the cities, and even the castle theme is reused and slightly remixed from the previous game. That's kind of lame. At first, this game seemed like it looked and sounded pretty good, but overall, it was repetitious and very, very disappointing. So the gameplay is somehow both simple and very complicated all at the same damn time. First thing, Luigi walks in to the castle and you can enter the city through these doors. After that, you have a lot of Koopas. You can jump on them, but walking, they are actually faster than you. And if you run, you're faster than them, making them very awkward to actually jump on. You only need to find 3 specific Koopas, but they don't look any different than any of the other Koopas, but they die differently? Yeah. Once they die in very spectacular fashion, I suppose, they leave behind a handkerchief to hide fingerprints, I guess. You can pick it up by jumping on it while on top of it. Yeah, that makes sense. So what's in this hanky? Well, it's an artifact. Oftentimes it's an artifact way too big for Luigi to actually carry, much less be hidden in a tiny little handkerchief, but hey, video game logic. You can take the item to the information kiosk. What's that? Oh, you can find the information kiosks on the map. Yeah, you can activate a mini-map with a button push, sure. However, you will eventually need the big map on the overly cumbersome pause screen. Select the map and bam, information overload. To switch streets you're on, you have to find a connecting street and either press up or down. But make sure you're on the sidewalk. I guess it's the middle of the road for the NES version. Huh. Anyway, you find a kiosk and select the option to return the artifact. Oops, wrong kiosk. Switch items or find the proper kiosk and return the object. Time for a history quiz on the subject at hand. Mess up and you'll have to come back later. I guess Daisy goes on a union break or something. Anyway, after answering the questions ranging from easy to guess to hard as shit to remember the actual info. Oh, you need to look up some answers? Well, the kiosk lets you read a newspaper with information on the landmarks. What's that? The answer you're looking for isn't there? Well, shit. Looks like you can either guess until you get it right, or find one of the citizens walking around. You can't miss them, they're ugly as sin and repeat like the music. Even talking to them is incredibly challenging for no reason. But you can ask them questions on objects. Not sure they have the answers, though. No, I wasn't about to ask every citizen in hopes that I could find one of the answers I needed. I'd rather just guess my way through and, wait between wrong answers. It was still quicker this way. Now that you've returned all the artifacts, it's time to leave the city. For some reason, a pokey enemy blocks your way. Why a random cactus enemy? Not sure. If only there was, in the Mario series, if only the Mario series had another plant-like enemy that was heavily associated with pipes that could block the way just like this. Nothing? Ah, too bad. You do have to figure out which city you're in, but the backgrounds, music, and newspapers on all the missing artifacts do actually help with that. The citizens do as well, but they're more vague from what I could tell. I really only had to ask once, thankfully. Anyway, you access the globometer thing to direct Yoshi from Antarctica to whatever city you were at. Hope you know which continent, though. To my knowledge, the game isn't friendly with which country these cities are actually in. So if you don't know Paris is in Europe, or where Europe even is on the map, you may have some issues. Now that isn't an issue for me, but for a kid trying to actually learn this crap, it would be nice if the game actually taught you something. Now that Yoshi is underneath Luigi, Luigi runs a lot faster. He can also leave the city if need be. There's no fanfare when Yoshi finds the right city though, so Oops. That means if you do put Yoshi in the correct city, you still have to exit out of the entire menu screen, which is 2 screens that you have to exit out of, by the way, just to see if you actually have Yoshi. This is absolutely annoying. No fanfare or nothing to at least let you know Yoshi's where he needs to be. This would have helped. But no, naturally the menu is already overly cumbersome. Let's make it more annoying. Overall, the controls are shit. Luckily, this game isn't asking much with them, however. And if you're thinking that these levels are going to get way harder as you progress, no. They're all basically the same damn level. The most these are going to get is some of these cities are huge. This means a lot of back and forth through the map screen and back. Again, having to back out of the map screen and then the menus as well, because that's efficient. Outside of that, the questions don't exactly get harder as you progress. In fact, some of them get easier. In fact, difficulty is incredibly sporadic. Oh joy. Some of these answers are stupidly easy to figure out, and some are incredibly annoying and difficult. And it's typically the harder questions that don't have the answers that are easy to find. This game loves questions with dates, and honestly, while I'm okay with guessing dates normally, some of these questions have years that are pretty close to one another. These questions I've always found a pain in the ass, even in school. I don't fully remember if something happens in 1905 or 1906. How is this even teaching me? This is more memorization rather than learning, if you ask me. That being said, this is the quickest way to beat a level. I figured out which city I'm in to summon Yoshi as quick as possible, because Yoshi doubles your speed. I go through and slaughter every Koopa I can find until I have the 3 missing landmark artifacts. I hit a kiosk bringing up the item they need and pushing my way through the quiz. If I mess up, I'll walk away for a bit, maybe read up on it quickly. If I need to, I'll just guess my way through the questions and hope they're easy, but that doesn't always work. However, despite this, I only managed a time bonus once. Yeah, there are time bonuses for each city on how fast you complete it. Not like you can look up your scores afterwards, so I'm not sure why bother giving these. Look, the idea that I was trying to speed up run this game means I was just trying to get through each level as fast as possible. I still didn't have fun doing this. Every level is basically the same, and that sucks. Then there are the boss fights with 3 Koopalings. These are all the same too. The Koopalings can't hurt you. There's no health in this game after all. You just jump on them and yeah, they move fast as hell and you awkwardly try and match up with them. Eventually you murder them, I guess, and continue on. Lemmy Koopa is ironically the final boss here. Bowser's defeated through a cutscene. Oops. And now to talk about the secrets and side quests. There are none. Oops. You have points and that's all you get for beating a city and returning all the artifacts. Yay? You can't look up your high scores, so that doesn't really do anything for me. Even if you could look up your high scores, I'm not showing this to my friends. Come on! So, how do you define a game like this? I mean, legally I can probably get away with calling this a school quiz that's somewhat open book with video game elements. There's nothing here for gamers, and honestly, kids trying to learn? I wouldn't say they're learning much either. This game is so dull. I'd rather have a test on paper. At least with a test on paper, I can finish that a lot faster. Here's the thing, nobody actually has to do any of this, unless I become an elementary teacher later on and force my kids to play this garbage. The story sucks. The gameplay is annoying and awkward. The levels are bland and unoriginal. There really isn't anything to keep your interest outside the main missions. The best thing is the music and the look of the game, and if I'm honest, even that kind of sucks, with reused sprites and reused music that repeats unapologetically. The only reason this game has any merit or any amount of fame or infamy is simply because this is technically a Mario game. This is the first console game to feature Luigi as the main playable character, and maybe this is why Luigi needed several more console generations before headlining another game. This game isn't super bad or anything like that. It isn't a buggy mess. The game is just dull. It is boring in every possible way. I didn't like it as a kid. I still dislike it today. Overall, this game is just the worst. I'm giving this a single point. That's it. A 1 out of 10. This game is painfully boring with hardly any joy here. I cannot recommend this game even if you want your kid to learn geography on any level. This game isn't broken or bad. It's just so boring. My opinion, boring is far worse than bad. So yeah, this game belongs in the game over, the hell of gamers itself. And the worst part is somewhere in the game over, I'm sure, the sequel Mario is missing is somewhere around here too. That's right, there's a sequel to this damn game, Mario's Time Machine. Blah. I am not touching that this time around. I'm gonna go back to my regular reviews, but why am I still stuck in the game over? I have some reviews before I have to finish Season 5, or at least some that I'd like to do. Mario Odyssey, Doom Eternal, No More Heroes 3. Oh. Zelda 2. Right. I gotta finish this hell abomination. Yeah, unfortunately, Zelda 2 has always been a bit of a rough spot for me. But I'll deal with that in the next review. Take care, guys. And if you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell icon. It helps my channel grow. I'll see you next time as I finally crawl my way out of the game over and defeat Zelda 2. Take care.